And hello. Great to have you all here. Let's make sure everybody is here. If you live right here in Alachua County, raise your hand. Say hey.
Hello.
Hey, hi.
Yes.
And if you're from our global networks of support in other parts of the country and the world, please say hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Great to have you all. Okay, Tony, I think we got everyone.
All righty. Places, everyone. Time for our rehearsal. We are getting ready for the showtime in March and April. Ready? And action.
Welcome to Building Community in a Changing Climate, a collaborative storytelling adventure with the Interfaith Climate Group. We invite people of all ages in Alachua County, Florida, and our global networks of support to help tell the story of one human family and one earth community with a common destiny.
Welcome to the Story Circle. The sages of the ages share words of wisdom from the human family. For thousands of years, prophets and seers have told of a time of peace on the planet. Listen to these words of wisdom about our planet that are part of our human story.
From the Hindu tradition, meditation, dhyana, is greater than thought. The earth seems to meditate. Atmosphere and sky seem to meditate. The waters and the mountains seem to meditate. So do gods and men. That is why whenever men achieve greatness on earth, they may be said to have received their due portion of the fruits of meditation.
And from the Buddhist tradition, radiate boundless love towards the entire world, above, below, and across, unhindered and without ill will, without enmity.
From the Jewish tradition, and his mom gave him a Jewish name, Jacob, and God spake unto Noah and to his sons with him, saying, and I, behold, I establish my covenant with you and with your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl, of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark to every beast of the earth. From the Islamic tradition, devote thyself single-mindedly to the faith, and thus follow the nature designed by Allah, the nature according to which he has fashioned mankind. There is no altering the creation of Allah.
And from the Baha'i tradition, nature is God's will and is its expression in and throughout the contingent world.
From the Native American tradition, we have all come from one great spirit, and this precious earth is our common mother. Let us walk in harmony.
From the Earth Charter, humanity is part of a vast evolving universe. Earth, our home, is alive with a unique community of life. The forces of nature make existence a demanding and uncertain adventure. But Earth has provided the conditions essential to life's evolution. The resilience of the community of life and the well-being of humanity depend upon preserving a healthy biosphere with all its ecological systems, a rich variety of plants and animals, fertile soils, pure waters, and clean air. The global environment, with its finite resources, is a common concern for all people. The protection of Earth's vitality, diversity, and beauty is a sacred trust.
There's a song for that. Come in, planet Earth, are you listening? The world is just an island in the sky. If we can fly among the stars, we can find the truth within our hearts. Love's the only way we can survive.
Oh, we'll have to add that to our musical menu and take these words of wisdom with us as we travel on the road to 2030, 2050, and beyond.
Now let's put that all into a game where kids can ask the grown-ups to help build a world that works for all. Hey kids, what time is it?
It's time to see how people are living in the global goals for the planet. Number 13, climate action. Number 14, life on land. And number 16, life underwater.
Who will help us what you are doing to take care of the planet?
I will. The United Nations Association of Gainesville has 3 first place winners in our essay contest. They wrote about their concerns and hopes about climate change. They were all middle school students. They read their essays to the members at our annual meeting.
Ooh, maybe they'll want to join us on the road to 2030, 2050, and beyond. Who else will help the kids make a world that works for all?
I will. I write music about caring for people and the planet. I help to educate and activate people of all ages. There are 2 things we got to do to save our Earth's environment. The first thing we got to do is we got to educate ourselves because knowledge is power. Everybody say knowledge is power.
Knowledge
is power.
Oh, that's right. Knowledge is power. But the second thing we got to do is we got to activate ourselves to become part of the solution. Everybody say activate yourself.
Activate yourself.
That's right. Educate, then activate. Educate, then activate. And we can change the world.
Oh, yeah.
Yay.
Do you have any examples of how kids can educate and activate?
Well, in 2014, I met with 6th graders at PK Young Elementary School in the Future Flash Making the Game Club. We started the Climate Crisis Jeopardy game based on my Climate Crisis Jam music video, right, Sue?
Right. And actually, I can play a little bit of that one, I do believe. Let's do that. Hold on 1 second here. Yes, coming right along. And slideshow. There we go.
Let's take care of our planet. Let's take care of our Earth.
Hey, it's Earthman here with a word about the planet. There's something going on, you know, I just can't stand it. People aren't looking, but it's crystal clear. We got a serious problem with the atmosphere. There are glaciers melting, lakes drying out. We got a flood over here, and over here we got a drought. The Earth's in trouble, don't think I'm lying. Just check out the way the forests are dying. The reefs are in trouble, and it seems kind of strange. We're getting more and more and more and more hurricanes. So I'm here with a word about global warming. What makes it happen? How we gotta start forming a plan to save all nature and humankind. You know, we gotta stop acting like we lost our minds. 150 years of industrial revolution means 150 years of air pollution. We keep burning coal, we keep burning oil, we just keep doing damage to the planet boils.
Yeah. But we're not going to let it boil.
All righty. We can play Climate Crisis Jeopardy on the World House Game Show for Earth Today.
We can make that a game the whole world can play.
I want to play that world game.
Oh, fun for that. I want to play in the world game. I want to make it better than it's ever been before. I want to play in the world game. I want to make sure everybody knows the score about using less and doing so much more.
But our game has to be serious enough for the climate emergency.
That's right. The stakes are high, sky high.
Well, there's a song for that too. I'm 200 miles in space, circling the human race, wondering win or lose it all.
Okay, we'll need a storyline about playing the world game.
It should be something familiar so people will know what to do.
It needs to have a scary part where we think we can't possibly win.
But not too scary, please, because it has to be a happy ending.
Remember when Martin Luther King said, "Don't sleep through a revolution"? In this story, we say, "Stay awake. We're all part of the evolution."
We need stories of real people who are making the world a better place.
Like the kids at Star Center's Children's Theater who performed The Wizard of Oz.
And the first 3 place winners of the Climate Challenge essay contest.
And Laney?
Oh, I'm sorry. Our play needs to have music to get all ages moving down the road to 2030, 2050, and beyond.
Okay, so this is something that I think we can use for that. Let me just pause here. That what happened is these kids in Belgium, and while it's spinning, kids in Belgium wanted to get their families and their neighbors out into the community to sing about the climate. And so they invited people from all the schools across the country. And look what happened.
We need to wake up. We need to wise up. We need to open our eyes and do it now, now, now. We need to build a better future. And we need to start right now. Has a problem. We've got to solve it, get involved and do it now, now, now. We need to build a better future. And we need to start right now. We need to build a better future. And we need to start right now.
Sorry. So my thought is do that right here in Alachua County, don't you think? And get some kids. In Belgium, they had 360,000 people across the country on one weekend. And we're going to try to do something similar in Florida. We got 2 kids down in South Florida. We're here in North Central Florida. We can do this. What do you think?
You're right. Our musical play should be especially fun for the kids because it will help them to make a world that works for all. If they play it with all their hearts in their homes, schools, and communities.
We can act it out in the Norm Garden in our backyard.
We can act it out in the 11 Gardens of Global Unity where all things are possible.
One day, we can even play it in the Ponchiverse with kids of all ages all around the world and in different languages.
Okay, let's get busy. We got a musical play to write.
Here's the story so far. We have Pasha the Dreamer, Paco the Realist on the road to 2030, 2050, and beyond.
It sounds almost like the yellow brick road. We need characters like the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Cowardly Lion.
The Wicked Witch of the West could represent the climate crisis.
And the land of Oz could be the Potterverse, where we can practice making a world that works for all.
Who will be our Wizard of Oz?
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
That's enough for tonight. Time for children of all ages to go to bed. Sweet dreams. Next week, we'll meet again, and that will be the time for each of us to decide what we will do to take care of the planet. It may be something you're already doing, or it may be something you've always dreamed of doing, or it might be something you wish you could do that just seems quite impossible.
Next week, we'll plant your seeds, ideas in the garden of global unity, where all things are possible. And you can see some of the many other seed ideas that have already been growing.
Thank you all for participating in our workshop series, Building Community in a Changing Climate. Please join us again next Tuesday at 6 o'clock Eastern when the Interfaith Climate Group explores the global goals for the planet with the Climate Collaboratory, a pilot project of We the World.net and the University of Florida Extension.
And we'll close with these words of wisdom from the Earth Charter. Let ours be a time remembered for the awakening of a new reverence for life, the firm resolve to achieve sustainability, the quickening of the struggle for justice and peace, and the joyful celebration of life.
And cut. Great rehearsal, everyone. What do you think?
Well, I think we did good. Yeah.
Opinion, I thought that we could do this again a lot of more times. And maybe we could I think it's really good. I really liked it. It was fun.
Great. So what we're doing is laying some groundwork. We have actually this beginning of the story. You were saying that sounds like the Wizard of Oz. And we have some kids that have agreed to help us write the skit that we'll be doing, or the little musical play that we'll be doing next month during We the World's Earth Month. And what we'll do is have 6 weeks, just like we've done here. We'll be doing with like this 6 weeks, and doing a little introduction for each one. But starting with the next one, it's going to be our musical play, and we're going to act it out like the Wizard of Oz. And so we're going to ask all of you to help us make it a little fun and musical, and we'll try to get more technical skills with us so that we can really show some of the videos that I was not able to show. And let me just bring Lanny Smith in here, because my goodness, we shortchanged you, because you've got so many wonderful music videos. We just sang little bits of them. And
well, you sang beautifully, and there's no shortchanging. Look at all the wonderful people, including behind Victoria. It looks like she's got a picture from the Pledge and Earth Anthem, I think, from the music video behind her. So just having you all use your power and make a difference is all I can ask for.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think Victoria and Rebecca and Helen and all our regulars, Tony and Sue, I just think we keep getting better and better and better.
What are other thoughts?
I love having the youth involved. Oh, sorry, Trinae. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Helen.
I just want to say that it's really been wonderful having the young people a part of this project. And I'm going to see if I can find another child to join us next week.
Oh, great.
Oh, that would be sweet.
And they're such good actors. Their voices, their emotions, right on cue.
Yeah, they're doing great. And Lisa, we're glad you could join us tonight. Welcome. Did you get to see much of what we're doing here?
I did, and I was so impressed. The enthusiasm is infectious, and I'm so glad to be a part of this. So thank you.
Happy to have you with us. Tony, what do you think about all this?
You know, it's kind of exciting to see as things get collected into our toolbox. And so remember, we're going to be using these tools for good, and we're collecting them for a reason. And so that's just something to keep in mind as the musical and everything plays itself out. It's exciting.
Who else?
It was good to see Lanny a few years back when we had United Nations Day, and he was the dancer and performance supporting the environment. I'm sure you all recall. And then we had junior youth and youth from different high schools presenting and speaking out Oak Hall and beyond about the environment. So maybe there might be an option. By now they have graduated, of course, but could be at those high schools. Again, some stand up for the environment. You can reach out to them.
That's our hope, is that the community-wide climate conversation to action program. And we're hoping really to get lots of kids in high schools, schools of all ages, right through the university, and really engage people in many different ways in playing our games, singing songs. And so it's fun to do. Victoria and Rebecca, you're certainly welcome to stay, but I know that you have other things you need to get to. So if you'd like to take off now, that would be fine. We sure thank you for being with us.
Yay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a nice day or night. Bye.
Victoria.
Bye.
All right. So why don't we just take some time to think of more? Tony mentioned the, why don't you explain a little bit about our tool shed, Tony? We're in the Gardens of Lowly. What's that tool shed over there?
Well, actually, the tools are about really resources, whether they be books or movies or songs that really kind of support our climate journey in a lot of ways. And so the idea is to have all these tools available so that people can use them as needed. And I mean, as a climate, I guess, activist and speaker, I'm always looking for more tools in the toolbox to use to spread messages. And so it's kind of but we want to be intentional about what we're trying to do, and we're trying to basically find windows to engage people, to get them to understand and act on what we know and understand that the world of tomorrow isn't guaranteed, and that it's going to have to take some action to get everyone up to a safe place where we're not only that we're treating the planet the right way, but we're also treating each other the right way. So.
Sue, is this the play that will be on Earth Day, or is there that in another play?
That's going to be different. It's going to use a lot of the elements that we've been developing during these 6 weeks.
Okay.
This has been a rehearsal for the pieces that we're putting together, some of the songs and activities and things. Lisa?
I just wanted to mention, I took this outside through the week as I talked to friends, family, people on other Zoom meetings. I always invite them to come to something like this. But I asked, we were looking for songs about peace. And do you know any? So even friends, they've been texting and sending all these songs, movies, whatever I said, and next week I'll talk, do you have anything on the planet or anything on prosperity? But it's a way to raise and elevate conversation and have some real dialogue about things that are important. So to include people to be a part of this, just ask them, do you know? Do you know about the Sustainable Development Goals that the UN has? you should see how many people do not know. I've watched 4 TED Talks about those goals and ways people are working. So there's lots of examples out there, and everybody wants to know what they can do, you know, just even in their own backyard.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Lisa. That's a really, really great point. And I think that, you know, I always look at things from my own Indigenous perspective. And when I think about, you know, how do we shift, you know, I think about us as human beings, that we're physical, mental, emotional, spiritual human beings. And so if we are going to shift our behavior, we have to address it on all those levels. So it does mean music that touches our hearts and souls. It means it's that everywhere in our acting, in our, you know, all the realms that we intersect with, that cohesive message of, as the earth heals, we heal, and as we heal the earth. And so yeah, and I think it's time. I'm excited because I think it's time to shift the conversation from kind of the, you know, in a way that really speaks to how we have intentional, radical resiliency. And we are in that process now on every level. And so yay us, and we get to be part of this celebration as we continue to not to negate the seriousness or the urgency, but to move beyond the panic into the real action that we can take as adaptable beings on this planet.
Beautiful. Thanks.
Sue, I just wanted to share with Tony and with everybody that our outreach in the Earthman Project is all about using music and the arts to deliver the messages about love and living on the planet, and about climate change, and educating and activating yourself. And the song that Sue so beautifully sang, "Come and Planet Earth, Are You Listening?"
I can play it now if you like.
It's in 7 languages, and I posted the Russian version of that on many Russian military sites. And although some kicked it out, others posted it and are sharing it all over Russia right now, this message of peace, with an ask to send it to Mr. Putin and the Russian embassy. So it's funny to see pictures of tanks rolling into different places and missiles, and this song about being in peace. So all of the work is available to you for free to use. You just need to contact me and tell me what you need in what areas, and I'll send you a Dropbox link to download, you know, the material, the songs, the music videos, whatever you need to use in your own outreach in order to help make a difference in your area.
Beautiful. Lanny, could you just put your email in the chat? And Angel, maybe you could pass that on to the Facebook audience. And we will see if we can't get some folks asking you for that Dropbox with all your music. It's really a wonderful collection.
Wonderful, yeah. And Sue, do you know this other song that is called by Red Grammar, Teaching Peace?
Yes.
That perhaps ideas from that could be added to the protocol that Lanny was mentioning.
Right. We are creating a musical menu where we're collecting all these wonderful songs and asking people to choose one, pick any one that you like, and make your own video of it, sing along with it, or create your own, you know, musical composition about it, or act out a skit around it. Who knows what people will want to do, but that's part of what we're asking as we invite people to participate in this community-wide climate conversation. So I'm going to take just a minute to show you this video that I didn't get to show. And this is just a clip of the whole thing, but let's listen to it now. I'm not seeing it. Hello. Oh, never mind. Sorry about that. Who knows what? It's not going to play right now. But it's a wonderful song. Come in, planet Earth, are you listening? The world is just an island in the sky. If we can fly among the stars, we can find the truth within our hearts. Love's the only way we can survive.
That song has went up in the space shuttle with one of the astronauts in 1985, and then in December of 1985, I was in New Hampshire, and Krista McCullough, the first teacher in space program that unfortunately perished in the explosion of the space shuttle, she asked me for a copy of it in our conversation, so I dropped it off at her house. And because it's a story of the view of our Earth through the eyes of a woman astronaut as she circles the planet, describing how beautiful and peaceful it is, how clean it looks, and calls out to the people of the Earth. So that's the one that's circling in Russian as well, because it's in translated and recorded in Spanish, German, French, Chinese, Japanese, Russian, and Spanish.
Oh, wonderful. So just tell you our Climate Collaboratory, the musical, is starting in the International Climate Collaboratory, 200 miles in space, circling the human race. Can you believe? So what I'd like to do is show you how our kids, the Alvarez family, Adrian, Rebecca, and Victoria, introduced all of that. Let me open this one. Hope it works better than the other did. Welcome to the Climate Collaboratory. We're creating a blueprint for our world house.
Attention, attention. It's colder for humanity. The planet is getting way too warm. The tree of life is in danger, and many species are going extinct. We must escape this climate calamity.
We need a blueprint for a better future. We just happen to have one. In 2015, the United Nations adopted 17 Sustainable Development Goals.
We need to win the global goals by 2030 if we're going to escape this climate calamity.
2030? That's when I will graduate from high school.
People all over the world are helping to make a better future. We want to collect stories about how they are doing that.
We're looking for climate collaborators who will help young people like us build a world that works for all. That's 100% of humanity and the community of life on Earth, our home. We also want stories and songs and books and movies and a lot more stuff that will help kids like me and Rebecca understand what the blueprint is all about.
We are living the story that our great-grandchildren will tell many, many years from now. In January and February, we'll use the Blueprint for a Better Future to help build Martin Luther King's World House.
In his Nobel Peace Prize lecture in 1964, Dr. King said, "We have inherited a big house, a great world house, in which we have to live together, Black and white, Easterners and Westerners, Gentiles and Jews, Catholics and Protestants, Muslim and Hindu, a family unduly separated in ideas, culture, and interests who, because we can never again live without each other, must learn somehow in this big world to live with each other."
We want to build a world house where we can learn to live together. We have the blueprint to build the big world house. We need you to help us make a world that works for people and the planet for many generations to come.
You can be a leader in our community-wide Climate Conversation to Action program.
Visit our website at climatecollaboratory.org and learn how you can be a climate collaborator in your home, school, and community.
Join us on the world to 2030, 2050, and beyond.
We need to wake up. We need to wise up. We need to open our eyes and do it now. We need to live.
So there you have it. That's what we're up to. And I think it's good to just say that this 6 weeks that we've been working on is laying the foundation for the musical that we're doing next time. And we're seeing this as a progression through the year, with each 6 weeks laying the foundation for what's coming next. So we thank you all for being part of that. And I wonder if we could just take a few more minutes. I think we got time to do the 3 different sections. Shannon, you want to take us to find some?
Oh, I'm sorry. I completely got involved in the conversation, so I put the script down and I have to find it again. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I can start this.
That would be great.
Okay, so what else? Who else do you know that is taking good care of the planet? We're looking for people, places, and things that are we need for this tool shed. So who are some people that you know? You can type your response. The way we do this is we just use the chat to get your ideas in. We'll leave it quiet for about 30 seconds. People on the Facebook can put theirs in and it'll get transferred in so we can all see what's coming in. So let's take about 15, 20 seconds to just think about some people that you can think of that are really helping to make work at the level of the whole planet, making the planet a better place. And type it into the chat now. And Shannon, you'll watch for what comes in, right?
I will. Gainesville grows. I put the women water walkers.
Other ideas? Everybody put something in, please.
So the question, Sue, is who do you know that's doing something? People that you know? Okay, people that you know
I like to think of people that you know personally, but it could be somebody that you know who's famous that you don't know personally. Either.
We know that there's people doing good things for the planet. So even within this panel, I think Helen's doing good things for the planet. Lanny's doing good things for the planet. I know that.
Well, say.
Tom Steyer is ex-presidential candidate. Tony says doing good things for the planet, right?
Yeah.
What's the name of that woman who spoke to the
Other thoughts? Wow. I know there's more people doing stuff for the planet. We'll come to them. Tony, you want to take us to some of the places?
All righty. Let's think of a lot more places where people are doing good things for the planet. These might be schools, faith groups, organizations, businesses, cities, or counties. So the idea is there are places where people are doing good things for the planet. And so we may want to think about those places. And so please type your responses in the chat so that we can keep score in our Global Goals treasure hunt.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Naquan Daja with the Cultural Arts Coalition there in Gainesville. Sue Blythe, of course, and the Climate Collaboratory. Cynthia Barnett at the University of Florida Journalism Department. People planting burns in South Florida to keep the ocean back. And Lisa has us include the millions who pray, which, yes, Gainesville, Florida, and Alachua County climate emergency. So that was a big action that was taken.
Mm-hmm. And that's actually part of the inspiration for our climate collective, is to have this community-wide climate conversation to support our city and county declarations of climate emergency.
All of the restaurants in our county no longer use plastic straws. So that's a huge contribution. Helen talks about zero waste. Greta and the young people worldwide that are doing everything they are, our Earth Warriors. The Repurpose Project is another one.
Good.
So my brother, he does a lot of work in the collection of wind energy. So in the state of Iowa. So yeah, we can see that there's a lot of actions that are taking place, but thinking about more and thinking about what's, I think one of the exciting things we have with opportunities like this is that there may be something happening where you're at that sparks the idea of, why are we not doing that? Why couldn't we have a climate emergency declaration where we're at? Why couldn't we maybe invite our local food carriers and restaurants to do business a little bit differently, and talk about how we would support them in doing that? So, you know, all of those kinds of things are those. We have all these, what I call these wonderful, creative, beautiful things that are happening, and how can we grow them, as my friend Sue says, in the gardens, right?
Right.
Global unity, right?
So I think of them as seed ideas that are growing and something, and some of them are in different stages of development, but they're all inspirational. So anybody can, ooh, we could do that too.
Yeah, and Helen talked about the climate reality and the Citizens Climate Lobby, or another. Yep.
Sure.
So continue to think about those things. Mm-hmm.
And Tony, you mentioned the Global Goals treasure hunt, but we haven't really explained that. You want to tell us what that's about?
Well, the treasure hunt will be our journey to try to find tools for the toolbox, to be able to gather these tools so that, as Shannon said, if someone else could go into the toolbox and perhaps use the idea for where they live, or find a different way to apply the specific tool or resource.
Right. So let's pull up something here on the slides. These are the global goals, and whoops, let me pull them up here. Rid of that and pull this up. These are the global goals that the United Nations agreed on in 2015. Set the goals and targets to accomplish by the year 2030, and they're saying, if we can do this, we will be well on our way to having a world that works for all. And so what we're trying to do is help people to see that they are part of, most people already working one or more of these global goals, because, you know, people want no poverty, so they do different things in their own communities to help people who don't have hunger is another goal. Good health and well-being. How many of us are working on quality education, gender equality, clean water, sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work, economic growth, industry, innovation, and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities, communities, responsible consumption and production. And here's our climate action, life below water, and life on land. Those are the three that we focus on tonight. And of course, we started this series of 6 with peace, justice, and strong institutions. And it was last week that we had a wonderful conversation about partnerships for the goals. And so this is our treasure hunt. We're looking for people in our local community who are actually doing significant work in each of these areas. And as we do that, we kind of light up the scoreboard. And Tony is helping with our keeping score on all of this. And you saw in the beginning when we're in the International Climate Collaboratory, 200 miles in space, circling the human race. We are using this as a scoreboard, and we need to be able to show that, yes, the people of the earth in places all over the world, people are doing these things, and we can help them, and we can be inspired by them. And that's what our Global Goals Treasure Hunt is all about. So do we have any more? Helen, you want to take us into the...
Yeah, I will. But Lanny, I saw the chat thing where you were saying that there are people planting burns in South Florida, or berms?
Berms. It should have been berms. Yeah.
Yeah. With that, let's think of more things that we can use to help take care of the planet. Why don't you talk a little bit about the berms that they're doing?
Well, South Florida, Audubon and other friends that I've worked with in the past have taken really for about 4 or 5 years, they're planting berms all along the ocean front and protecting the turtles that lay their eggs there, to the turtle eggs, in order to stop the encroachment of flooding and from storm surge that comes up. It's a natural way of doing it. Instead of building a wall, they're building plants. And so they've been doing this a while, and bless them, they're wonderful. Kids, adults, seniors, even saw a dog out there digging a hole. No, playing.
Okay, so how about some? You are really wide out there, and anybody else? What are some of the books or movies, the games or activities and programs that we can encourage our schools and different community groups to use? And if we always like to put out some sacred text when we're doing a program that we share and we read as a prayer, things from other great thinkers and famous people. If you've got any of those suggestions, this is always a great time and a way to build up our resources that we use in our tools shed.
Well, like I said, I want to send you, if somebody would contact me, so I know I can send it to one person and they can distribute it in your toolbox to everybody else. So many different videos, songs, things that we've created over the years, including the Climate Crisis Jam, which is we created after I met with Al Gore's team before An Inconvenient Truth came out, and they weren't doing anything for young people. So we put it in a 5-minute rap music video, the story of the science and the solutions to climate change. And I've updated it some over the years with images, but that's a great piece. I always start out my talks, if I'm doing a talk for Climate Reality or anybody else, it sets the overall story. And then Sue's got the Climate Crisis Jeopardy game, which is based off the music video that you can answer questions to use in schools. So it's very interactive that way, and you can have all those things. As far as other outside, I know that so many organizations have different things that they're doing. You could just giggle it and find so many folks have curriculums and stuff. I don't know about the gaming side of this too well. Sue, you've invested time looking into some of the games that are out there.
Oh my goodness, there's so many wonderful games being played, you know, whether it's live action. I know there's one for fourth graders called the World Peace Game, and it looks almost like a three-dimensional chessboard. And fourth graders can bring world peace within a couple days. So it's a wonderful thing. And there's just so many, lots of video games now that are focused on all of these issues. So we could probably have at least one video game for each and every one of those sustainable development goals. And so that's the kind of thing that we're trying to pull together and make into a curriculum that's available throughout our community, so that, you know, people can use it in schools or in their, you know, faith groups or in their own homes. Especially homeschool kids can make a lot of wonderful use out of these things. So our job with the Climate Collaboratory is collect and make them available so that people can see the wealth of materials that are ready to go right now. We don't have to reinvent any wheels. We've got lots and lots of things we can use. So our storytelling is kind of giving it a framework that will take it through time, and we can continue to build up our tool shed and have lots of fun on the road to 2030, 2050 and beyond.
Just as an add-on, if you're working with folks who are either hard of hearing or deaf, but read sign language, we did a series of beautiful short PSA spots with deaf and hard of hearing children about water conservation, recycling, hugging trees, not littering, and those are all available as well to use.
I did put your email, Lanny, into the chat if anybody would like to get that. And Angel, maybe you can pass that on to the Facebook audience. That would be great. And I'd like to share this. I think I can do it this time. By golly. Get rid of that. This is just a clip of this wonderful song.
I'm 200 miles in space, circling the human race, wondering, will we win or lose it all? Come in, planet Earth, are you listening? The world is just an island in the sky. If we can fly among the stars, we can find the truth within our hearts. Love's the only way we can survive.
Okay, so there you go. That's one of my favorite pieces right there. Thank you for that, Lanny Smith.
That's a good note to close on.
Yeah, so
Yes.
we want to make sure that everybody joins us next Tuesday at 6 Eastern, because that's when we'll plant seed ideas in the garden of global unity, where all things are possible.
And we will help to grow them in our project incubator and check on their progress in April, September, and January. We will continue to grow them in Alachua County as we travel on the road to 2030, 2050, and beyond with all your help.
And the Interfaith Climate Group is proud and pleased to provide a spiritual foundation for the community-wide Climate Conversation to Action program of the Climate Collaboratory. That's a pilot project of We the World at we.net and the University of Florida Extension. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank
Happy
you. Thank you.
trails.
Wonderful.
Thanks again.
See you soon.
Okay, good night,
Thank you.
all. Thank
Good
you
night.
again.
Next
Bye-bye.
week. Okay.